Today we are going to compare the XM Hulkbuster versus to this custom Hulkbuster. Both of them are quarter scale, both of them are extremely good, and both of them commands a lot of presence. But one will be victorious. Like always, we will be talking about the concept, the sculpt, the paint, and finally to answer the question, who did it better? To my right is we have the XM Hulkbuster. Crowned as one of the community grails due to its sheer presence, and to my left is the competitor, the custom or Fanart Hulkbuster. It's extremely well done and doesn't cost as much as the XM Hulkbuster. Now, let's talk about the concept. The XM Hulkbuster is a heavily damaged Hulkbuster with the options to display Iron Man with the Hulkbuster or on the Hulkbuster. The XM does come with a separate base for Iron Man, as you can see, so you can display him with Hulkbuster. Hulkbuster is on a heroic landing type of pose, which looks really good in my opinion, or probably the best pose you could do with Hulkbuster. However, it doesn't have any switch outs but does have light up features. Now to my left is the custom or Fanart Hulkbuster. It's a combination of both worlds, meaning you get a battle damage Hulkbuster, which is the one we have displayed right here, and a clean version of Hulkbuster, which we have down here. The clean version of the torso is on a torso stand, so we can switch them out with the battle damage version. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an Iron Man base for Iron Man to be displayed separately or together with Hulkbuster. I do know they offered it before but was cancelled due to it being quite expensive, so I guess that's why it's not here. The original concept was Iron Man on a smoky or fiery type of base ready to fly. But if I have the separate base for Iron Man, then this battle damage torso wouldn't make any sense to have anymore. But others might want to opt for the other version of this Hulkbuster if that is the case, as this statue comes in 3 versions, I believe. Either you get the clean Hulkbuster without Iron Man, or you get the damage version of the Hulkbuster with Iron Man, or you get the ultimate version, which is this version, and you get both torso switch outs. With that said, I gotta give the concept to the custom version of the Hulkbuster, as the torso switch out does give you option on how you want to display him, and you can display them separately. Like if you have a quarter scale bust collection, you could display the bust or whatever you want. Plus, if you are bored with the way it looks, it has the switch out torso and the switch out portrait for Iron Man also. So both their bases are quite similar. As you can see, both are rock type of base, just painted differently. However, the XM one has some random debris on the base, while the custom one has the defeated Ultron, making it match the line I am collecting, and also actually the reason why I pre-ordered this Hulkbuster. So moving on to the sculpt, like I said, the XM is a battle damage Hulkbuster, so it has a lot of sculpted details pertaining to the battle damage areas, lots of scratches, lots of holes, and other details that shows its internals. The XM Hulkbuster is highly detailed with all these mechanical details. Iron Man is, however, very clean, as he is still fresh from inside the Hulkbuster. Sculpt on Iron Man is really simple, almost like he is a classic Iron Man with just a lot of these lines to emphasize different layers of the armor. If you were to ask me, the XM classic Iron Man is way better than this Iron Man. Anyway, the base is a rocky type of base with lots of debris like I mentioned earlier. It is highly textured and very detailed. The custom one has both the battle damage and the clean torso. However, the details on the armor itself isn't as detailed as the XM one, but it's around 90% there. Don't get me wrong, you still get to see some internals and other mechanical details on the custom one. It's just that the XM one has more of that, and I think that's what make the XM one look really cool. Now, moving on to Iron Man, I think it's just not a competition for the custom one. It's light years ahead of the XM one on that aspect, in my opinion. It's a modern armor. I think it's modeled or inspired from the Iron Man Mark 45 from Age of Ultron. and it's actually one of my favorite Iron Man armors. The custom Iron Man is just highly detailed and has a lot more going, making it more exciting to look at. But the star of the show is Hulkbuster and not Iron Man, so I gotta give this point to the XM Hulkbuster, winning it by not that much in my opinion. Maybe not enough to justify its price tag. Lastly, we are going to compare the paint. The XM Iron Man has this auto finish like paint on its red, which makes it extremely good. The gold paints are like matte gold, which looks normal, very typical, nothing out of the ordinary. It has a lot of battle damages or weathering related paints like this black particles or this mud like stuff on his legs. Also has scratches type of paint scattered all throughout the statue. The base is this concrete like base which is painted by this very dark gray. There are no highlights, but it does have some black spots. It has some light browns for contrast, I think. The base on Iron Man is oddly of different type of gray color. It's more of a brownish type of gray. I could see more highlights on the Iron Man base than the Hulkbuster. It has a lot of imperfections, I would say. Now, moving on to the custom one, the paint is also this glossy metallic type of red. Honestly, it's almost like the auto finish like the XM one. I would say it's around 90 to 95% there. Maybe others wouldn't notice the difference much. The golds are very similar for both statues, or should I say identical, but it lacks more paint on the gray areas. They look way too flat. Maybe some oils or washes could fix that. It does have some weathering on the armors, which is a nice touch. Not a lot, but enough for you to notice them. Going to the base, it's painted with a very lighter type of gray than the XM one with a lot of highlights, which makes you see a lot of these textures and details. So to conclude, I gotta give the point again to the XM, as again, Hulkbuster is the main attraction to the statue. The reds on him just pops a lot more. The weathering also are more visible, and the gray areas on the armor are painted just so much better than the custom one. I would say the paint on the custom is around 90% there, so you are not missing a lot if you go this route. So that's 2 points to the XM Hulkbuster, which has the slightly better paint and sculpt than the custom one, making it the better piece out of the two. But there's a few things I need to mention about this XM Hulkbuster. Like one, engineering is extremely bad on this statue. As you can see, I am displaying him with the white styro steel on the base between his right arm, because his right arm won't touch his torso all that much, making the arm fall without the foam. It is extremely hard to assemble due to how heavy it is, and a lot of the parts on his torso doesn't fit all that much, making a lot of paint chips inside the statue. Lastly is his chest cover together with his portrait. It doesn't fit all that well and might actually fall if it gets hit. It's just engineered quite bad. And I've talked to a few collectors, they also have these problems or similar problems, which is odd for a Grail statue. I've only talked to one collector who doesn't have this issue. Again, these are bombers for me when I assembled this statue. Now, the custom one does come with its own problems, namely Iron Man won't fit to the base, but after 10 to 20 minutes of heat blowing the Iron Man leg, I was able to fit it without problem. I know other collectors feel they don't have to do anything to fix a statue and should come in perfect, but I know warping or changing of shape happens during shipping and might be exposed to heat or whatever, and obviously this will happen. It's an easy fix and I'm not even an expert and I was able to do it. Assembly was extremely easy on the custom one as it's not as heavy as the XM, but it is heavy enough for it not to fall down. The only problems I had with assembly was it was quite hard to find the areas where the broken armor parts go since custom doesn't come with instruction, but it's not really that bad. So what do you guys think of the conclusion? Let me know in the comments below on what you guys think did it better. If you want to check out my individual unboxing and review of both this Hulkbuster, you can check out the video screen. So this is it for this video. This is Carl and see you in the next one.